11 starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at 11. Also streaming live on KMIR.com. I'm Angela Monroe. Gina Lamont is on assignment. A shocking reversal in court. All charges have been dropped against the two men accused in the Pinyon Pines triple murders. Robert Pape and Kristen Smith are being released from jail. Visible relief both inside and outside the courtroom from the families of Kristen Smith and Robert Pape. Pape's attorney says the DA's office botched this case from the very start.
They withheld exculpatory evidence. They essentially subverted the grand jury process by giving the grand jury a misleading and deceptive account of the evidence that they had.
On September 17, 2006, the body of Becky Friedley was found burning in a wheelbarrow outside her home. The house was on fire. Inside, the bodies of her mother, Vicki, and her mother's boyfriend, John Hayward. Both had been shot.
Their loss is unimaginable, and I don't in any way mean to diminish their loss, the tragedy of what happened to their loved ones, but these were not the right guys.
The DA's office said in a statement it's committed to continuing its investigation into these murders and believes and expects that murder charges will be refiled in the near future, but it's unclear against whom. The district attorney, Paul Zellerbach, was subpoenaed last month by Pape's attorney to testify at a hearing next week.
And the only reason they dismissed it, in my opinion, is because I was laying out what I think is certainly a prima facie case of obstruction of justice against Mr. Zellerbach and some of his deputies.
The DA's office says that is not the case. They say the dismissal and subpoena are not related, and because the investigation into the murders is ongoing, they will not comment further. Meanwhile, Smith's attorney said, "We are pleased, gratified, and relieved that Sergeant Smith will be reunited with his family, and he eagerly awaits the opportunity to be introduced to his newborn daughter, Zoe." Smith and Pape were actually supposed to be in court for this morning's hearing, but there was an apparent mix-up, and the pair was not transported from the Riverside Jail to the Indio courtroom today. We reached out to the Friedley and Hayward family, but they're not commenting. KMIR News has been leading the way on coverage of this case, and we'll stay on top of it and bring you the new developments as we learn of them. Police continue to investigate the abduction and sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl in Palm Springs, and tonight we're told the FBI has been called in to help. The Palm Springs Police Department says the young girl went out for a run Wednesday night, but 3 hours later she hadn't returned. Her family got worried and called police. The Palm Springs Police Department activated many resources and began searching for the missing teen. About 7:30 a.m. yesterday, the girl was found in the desert off Ramon Road and Kaweah Avenue. Detectives interviewed the teen and discovered that she had been sexually assaulted. We reported the story when she went missing, but because she's the victim of an assault, we are no longer using her name or picture. The man accused of killing 2 young people while driving drunk was in court today. 21-year-old Jonathan Garcia Avila faced a judge this morning. The crash killed 18-year-old Tierra Regans and 21-year-old Osvaldo Ramirez. A third person was also hurt. Back on Labor Day, Palm Springs police say Garcia Avila crashed into a traffic pole at Gene Autry and Tachiva. He faces charges of gross vehicular manslaughter. Tonight, police are asking for your help finding the man responsible for a hit and run that hurt a young boy. Authorities are looking for 28-year-old Noel Felix. Authorities say Felix fled the scene of an accident after his pickup truck collided into a house in Coachella. An 8-year-old child was in the home and they had to be hospitalized. If you recognize this picture, you're asked to contact the police department. Let's get a check on your lifestyle weather forecast tonight. Brian Schofield joins us with your first forecast tonight at 11. Brian.
Well, we'll start off with a thermal almanac just to show you the heat today. Look at that, back into the triple digits. Did summer just show up again? Is that the way it works? 50s for overnight lows, high pressure building in, keeping the numbers warm, really both ends of the valley. So yeah, summer's back for the short term. Highs to about 105, quite possible, lots of sunshine, and then the 90s make a comeback. So we start to feel maybe a little more fall-like, a little bit more, getting closer to normal again. I'll tell you when coming up in your lifestyle forecast.
A fire damages a Desert Hot Springs apartment building early this morning. It happened around 3:30 this morning inside a single-story apartment building on Calle Azteca. 17 firefighters rushed to the blaze and had it knocked down in about 45 minutes. The fire department says no one was hurt. The unoccupied apartment was completely destroyed. That loss was estimated at $100,000. Most of us walk by streetlights on a daily basis and don't give them a second thought. But one Palm Springs resident was nearly hit by one that came crashing down. Jay Thompson spoke with us after his friend was nearly hit by a falling streetlight in downtown Palm Springs. Jay asked, quote, "Are the other poles failing also? Are they a danger to pedestrians and vehicles? What is the city doing about it?" Jay, you asked, we investigate. Our City Alvarado has this story.
I kind of came up